Hi, I'm Steve Newman and this is Intection. Today we're going to be looking at the Logitech Slim Combo case for the iPad. So this is the case here. So this is the box it comes in. So there's not much to show you on this, so I'll quickly show you the iPad and the case itself. So let's have a quick look. So first of all, here's my iPad and this is my first review of this case. So let's have a look here. So what have we got? So the case itself, there we go, move it like this, is very good. So if I show it, comes in two parts. So you have the part here which is the keyboard. So there's the keyboard itself, okay, and these are really good keys. I mean, they feel much better than the Apple fabric keys, and these do light up as well. And the keyboard case itself uses no power. It uses the power directly fed from the iPad Pro. Now this is the 12.9 inch variety of the device, of the case, and also please note that you can't fold this. This is like a wrist rest, and also it's a cover for the screen. So when you close this up, which we just do now, both close this way. That's one way of putting it. So we just put that there. So let's move the case out of the way. Case box out of the way. So you can put it like that. And basically, if you stand it up, as you can see, it lights up. You flip this back on itself, and you can use the case like that. So that's quite a nice layout. So there we go. So that works out really well. Now on the back, this also comes with this hard shell back. So this hard shell back. So let's just fold this over so you can have a look. And when you close this as well, that the iPad does go off. The screen goes off. So we turn this back over. So this is the hard shell, and obviously you can use this without the keyboard itself. So the hard shell itself comes with a nice little attachment here, which is fitted, you can't remove it, which is part of the iPad case shell, and it's great for the pencil, which is obviously what it's for. So one thing that Apple is missing for some time. You have cutouts for your camera, you have cutouts for the speakers, so as you can see along the edge, and it's easy to charge. And it doesn't get rid of, reduce any sound quality, and you can see at the top you've got cutouts there. And the only thing I don't know why it's here is on the back here. There's a hole here, and there's also a hole there. Now I honestly don't know what that's for. Now this is a 12.9 inch first version of the iPad that's inside this case, so perhaps there's some difference in the new one. So moving on the case, the only other features you've got this hinged kickstand, a bit like a Surface Pro. Now what's really good is it's got quite a range of movement, and it will stay wherever you put it, which means for once you can adjust the angle of viewing. So that's really good. So you can do that. So you don't have to have your case on. So if you're going to use it with a case, that would be, how would you like it? So you can use it however you would like. So as you can see, it's quite a nice case. Now to use the keyboard, the keys on the one I've got here is a UK keyboard. The keys are brilliant. They work really, really well. Really nice to work with. And you've also got on the very top section, you have a number of buttons. You have a home button at this end. You can control your brightness. You can search. You can pull up for those unusual keys that aren't mapped to the keyboard itself. So say for example you have to use a special character, you can pull up using the keyboard symbol, which is just there. It will pull up the on-screen keyboard, and you can obviously then select the special character. You can adjust the keyboard brightness, which is very little you can do with that, so I'll just show you how that works. So let's power on the keyboard. So, and also I have found as well, sometimes, as you can see now, sometimes it does disconnect, but you have a couple of levels of brightness that you can pick. Okay, you can start the media player, and you can forward, backwards and forwards, very similar to a Mac keyboard. Then you have volume control here and mute, so mute, volume, and so forth. And then you can lock the device from here. And you can also unlock the device if you want to use the pin from the keyboard. But because it's narrow like this, it means you can work very easily on on your lap, and also you can work if you're in a constrained space somewhere on, say for example, you were working on a train. So if I just take this apart, so for example, if I now take this off, as you can see, you don't have to have this with it, but if we now look at it, the back of this is fabric, and it's pretty much a glued fabric, very well made device. Now I would say that you're going to pick up fingerprints on this. As you can see, there's already some fingerprints picked up, and I've only had this for about a week now. So yeah, it's a really great device, and it's now my favorite. The other thing to note, which I think is really important, because I bought the very first Logitech keyboard case, is that here we have rubber edges. So here you have rubber edges here, which forces the screen to, when closed, to stay away from the surface of the keys. Now that may not sound that important, but you tend to grip this by the case when it's closed. So the very first Logitech keyboard case I found actually scratched the so I'll just join it up again. The very first Logitech case did scratch the keyboard, sorry, the screen of my iPad. And now when you've got it closed, as you can see through it just about, if I hold that so you can see. And if I lift this up, you can see there is a gap between the keys. And even if I push down to grip, which is difficult to do, if I push down to grip, it's very difficult to push the screen. Now I would say, if you do buy this, I wouldn't guess, because obviously iPads are expensive, I would say always hold it from the end where the pencil is, then you've got no chance of scratching your screen. Once this is put together, it is really sturdy. I am pushing this sideways and it does not slide. It will not slide on the top. So it's very good. It's very, very good indeed. So very well manufactured. This edge here is all made of rubber, which obviously that's where the connections are. So it's very unlikely to fail. And I would just say it's probably, this would have been the best keyboard to launch the iPad with, but now we've got it, that's great. And it's made this device much more user-friendly, because I found it particularly difficult to type on the Apple thing keyboard, which we all know and love, so which is in here. So if I just get it out, so to compare the two. So okay, so let's have a look. So here's the Apple keyboard, and we'll put it alongside, I'll pull this off, the Logitech keyboard, so you can see the difference between the two. So on a pure size, in fact let's do it this way, make it a bit easier. On a pure size point of view, you can see there's not a great deal of difference as far as size of the space bar is concerned. The key positioning is very much the same, but the enter key, the return key here, is a proper return key, as you can see. You don't get all of the function keys that you have on the Logitech keyboard, which you don't get them on the Apple keyboard. So and again, this is the American version, but the layout, apart from the pound sign as they call it in America, is in a different place, and obviously the currency symbol. But as you can see, the keyboards are very similar. If you look at the layouts, the keyboards are very, very similar. There's very little travel on the Apple keyboard, but these, you've got proper keyboard travel. It's really good, feels positive, not too squishy. I really, really like it, and more than anything else, because it takes up a lot less space. So the smallest form factor on this keyboard is pretty much, if I can put this all back together, So what would have happened on the Apple keyboard, it would be something approaching that is the smallest form factor. And as you can see, if we now put them together, if that's the join, the keyboard itself, although it's slightly smaller if you look at the edge there, but I much prefer this one. So well done to Logitech on the Logitech Slim Combo. So let's put away the Apple keyboard. Now what I would say is the Logitech itself comes in sizes for all of the iPad Pros, and just if you were worried, again, like I said before, whether or not you were a 12.9 inch user, whether or not it's compatible, it is 100% compatible. I haven't tested it, the smaller keyboard, so I can't tell you if that lives up to the same standards of this 12.9, so I don't know whether the 10 inch keyboard works for the smaller iPad Pros, and incidentally that's mainly because I buy these myself, and so I'm basically reviewing items that I use on a daily basis. So these are not just reviews for YouTube. I buy these items for myself and I use them on a daily basis. So once again, that brilliant piece of technology from Logitech as usual. And if you like this video, then please subscribe and please come back soon. So there'll be some more videos coming very shortly.